I'm going to teach you how to properly test new ad creatives for Facebook ads or TikTok ads. This is the strategy that we're using in accounts that are spending just a couple $100s a day, all the way to accounts that are spending tens of thousands of dollars a day. And by the end of this video, you should be able to use this strategy to run more profitable ads for yourself. Let's dive right in. The strategy that we use is called batch testing, where we test 3 to 6 creatives at a time in separate groups, or as we call it, batches. We're about to go into the details in just a minute here, but the goal is the high performing ad creatives from these batches get scaled, while the underperformers get turned off, scratched entirely, or they get tweaked a little bit to be tested again later. You'll want to allocate about 20% of your overall advertising budget to testing out these different ad creative batches. Although if you're just starting out, it may be a higher portion of your budget, if not the entire thing. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is figure out what exactly it is that you're trying to test. Typically, that is going to be some type of creative concept that you've come up with. For example, let's say that you are a big soap brand named after a mythical creature, and you want to create ads that sell more of your products profitably. And based on your research, you've determined that a features ad like the one that I'm showing right here that highlights how natural your soap is has a good chance of being profitable for your business. So you decide to test it, and to give this ad creative batch the best possible chance of success, you're going to be testing out multiple different variations of this ad concept. You're going to be testing out different things like changing the copy slightly, or changing the colors that are in the ad, or even trying out a completely different way of presenting the same information. Now, after you have your creatives made, you just have one more step, and that's defining what's a good result from this test and a bad result from this test. Let's say in this case, a 2.5x ROAS and up is a acceptable and profitable result, and anything below a 2.5x ROAS is unacceptable and a bad result. And the reason that we do this is it keeps us from getting emotionally attached to our ad creatives and keeps us objective in our decision making. Now you're ready to launch. You're going to launch these ad creative variations in one single ad set or batch, and you're going to run ad set budget optimization. If you've already ran ads in the past and you already have some data, then I would just set your daily budget for 3 to 5x your CPA, cost per action, which in this case is going to be purchasing. But if you don't have any data, then I would just use a smallish number that you feel comfortable spending on a daily basis. I think $100 to even $150 is a really good place to start, especially if you're new. You're going to let this run for 3 to 6 days. And why the range? Well, because if you're on day 3 and you see that performance is absolutely terrible, then you're probably going to want to turn it off at day 3. Now, if it's doing okay and maybe it's right below what you consider to be good, like a 2.2 or a 2.3, then you may want to run it all the way to the 6-day mark, because performance may pick up as the ad and the ad account acquires more data on your customer. Now, after you let your creative run for a set period of time, you're going to analyze the results. And it's simple. If they did poorly, you're just going to scratch them, kill them, and get back to the drawing board. And if they perform well, then increase your budget by 25%. And if performance holds for a couple of more days, then you've probably found yourself a winner. And the next step is to add those winning creatives into a scaling ad set or a campaign. It just depends on what your preference is. And that's where you should be spending a majority of your budget to, is creatives that you already know are performing well and have a high chance of getting you more conversions. I hope you found this video to be helpful, and I encourage you to give me a follow for more free game. And if you want the internal strategies and the documents that we use to test and scale up our 8-figure clients at the agency, then DM me the word test on Instagram and I'll send it back over to you. Peace.